Welcome to an adventure back in time to Keelung in the age of discovery. You've been living in Taiwan for a long time. I'm sure you've visited Keelung before. However, have you truly known the city of Keelung and familiarized yourself with its rich history that pulls at people's heartstrings? Today, we will watch a fascinating video and explore the historical city of Keelung in depth. To ensure you fully understand the video's content, I have designed an interactive segment containing 5 questions with multiple choices and a Q&A. This segment will allow you to participate in the quiz while having fun. Don't fret, all the answers to the questions are in the video waiting for you to notice. After the video ends, I will introduce a series of vocabulary related to geography and history. If you encounter similar scenarios in the future, you can express yourself accurately and fluently with the new words and be more descriptive. Finally, I have prepared a short and fun quiz after the lesson so that you can review and consolidate the knowledge and vocabulary learned today. After watching the video, you'll be more familiar with the history of the magnetic city of Keelung. At the same time, you will also understand the meaning of the words taught in the videos on a deeper level. This learning experience allows you to improve your English ability and deepen your understanding of Keelung's history. The results of your progress will not only make you more knowledgeable, but increase your confidence and communication skills. Let's say, after this learning session, when you visit a place with a similar geographical location or historical background, you can confidently engage in meaningful conversations and be more concrete in expressing your perspective. Whether you are a historic fanatic or a history newbie, this lesson helps you build a solid foundation of knowledge, allowing you to understand and explore a bit more about this captivating field in the future. I hope that you can incorporate the information and skills into your day-to-day life and create more opportunities for yourself. Without further ado, let's dive right in. In this lesson, we will explore Keelung Harbor and Zhengbing Harbor in depth and further learn about the history and geographical location of Keelung by using a 400-year-old map. This historical map will take us a couple of centuries back in time to Keelung, and we can enjoy the view and ambience then. Afterward, we will introduce the Sino-French War Memorial Park and the grand ceremony held during Ghost Month each year in depth to learn more about the diverse sides of the city. These ceremonies are not just about honoring tradition. More importantly, it is the crucial piece that connects the past with the present. At the same time, we will look at how the rule of different countries, including Spain, the Netherlands, France, and Japan, has affected Keelung. The traces of history have left unerasable marks on the confines and culture of Keelung City, creating the diversity we see today. We will explore the importance, changes, and developments of Keelung Harbor, from its prosperous days under Japanese occupation to the harbor known for its cruise industry today. Without further ado, let's get right into the questions of this video. Question 1. What is Keelung Harbor known for today? A. Cargo transportation. B. Fishery. C. Electronics manufacturing services. D. Cruise industry. Question 2. Which of the following areas was not mentioned in the video about Keelung Harbor? A. The cruise ship area. B. Cargo ship area. C. The military area. D. The area for abandoned ships. Question 3. According to the ancient map mentioned in the video, how far does Zhengbing Harbor date back? A. Qing Dynasty, B. Dutch occupation, C. Spanish occupation, D. Japanese occupation. Question 4. According to the video, where did the Spanish first land when they came to Taiwan? A. Heping Island in Keelung, B. Guandu in Taipei, C. Ur in Taichung, D. Kenting in Hengchun. Question 5. When is the annual Grand Commemoration Ceremony held at the Sino-French War Memorial Park in Keelung? A. Mid-Autumn Festival, B. Ghost Month, C. Lunar New Year's Eve, D. Qingming Festival. Open-ended question. How would you explain the connection between Keelung City, the Spanish, and the Dutch to a foreigner? The previous 5 questions will allow you to better understand the content. After watching the video, the open-ended question will put your concentration to the test. We want to ensure that you have finished watching the video and can comfortably apply the content you've learned. When you are watching the video, please pay attention to the hints on the screen and answer the questions that pop up. Don't fret, I believe that you will be able to answer all questions correctly. Now, let's start playing the video.
We are in Keelung! This map is 400 years old, and it already has Keelung Harbor and Sumbing Harbor painted in it. Cimetière Français de Kilung. In the Ghost Month every year, they will have a big celebration here.
我只会讲三条。
香肠是 sausage.
sausage。
Keelung is one of my favorite cities in Taiwan. It's the most northern city in Taiwan. It is a bit of a hidden gem, both from a historical perspective and from a beauty perspective, because not all is as it seems. Keelung's history goes back over 400 years. Both the Spanish and the Dutch spent a lot of time here. The French tried to conquer it, the Japanese were here, and during the Qing Dynasty, it was also a very important commercial port. We're going to explore the history today, and we're also going to explore some of the scenery of this great city. I brought my 2 sons here, and they're going to accompany me. What are your thoughts about Keelung?
I think it's very rich in its history and its background. Also, they have a lot of 小吃 that are pretty good.
Philip, what are your thoughts?
It rains a lot.
I think Keelung has like 300 days of rain or something like that. We're lucky to come here on a sunny day and beautiful day like today. Let's go explore the town, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
My fishing boat isn't allowed into this most inner part of Keelung Harbor. Despite Keelung Harbor's ancient history, it wasn't until the Japanese occupation in the late 1800s that it really began to flourish. In fact, the Japanese planned to develop this harbor in 5 phases, beginning in 1899 and ending just before the war ended in 1944. In the beginning, they wanted to make this a strong connection to the Japan mainland, and in later years, it was a key part of the Japanese war effort. In addition to the harbor that really flourished under the Japanese occupation are a number of the buildings here. You will see a lot of old Japanese architecture in Keelung Harbor in the surrounding buildings. Keelung Harbor reached its commercial height in the late 80s and in fact was the 7th largest harbor in the world at that time. Nowadays, it is actually more known for its cruise industry. And usually over here, there is at least one large cruise ship dock, but due to COVID right now, there are none. This is the third largest cruise harbor in Asia, just behind Shanghai and Singapore.
Have you heard the answer? Let's go back to the question. Question 1. What is Keelung Harbor known for today? A. Cargo transportation. B. Fishery. C. Electronics manufacturing services. D. Cruise industry. This was a warm-up question. Did you get it right? Correct. The answer is D. Cruise industry. Leon mentioned that the prosperity of Keelung Harbor began in the late 19th century under Japanese occupation. The Japanese planned to develop Keelung Harbor in 5 phases. During that time, Keelung was the 7th largest container harbor in the world. However, in recent years, Keelung Harbor has been transformed into a harbor known for its cruise industry. You can use the word industry to talk about the sectors, for example, the financial industry. Did you answer correctly? Let's continue playing the video.
So when many people drive through Keelung along the road, they don't know that the harbor is actually so huge. But from this spot here, we can get a bit of a sense of how large the harbor is. Show me the map here. So this whole area here is Keelung Harbor. And you can see here, this is the mouth of the harbor right here. So that's right there, the red and the green markers. And what a lot of other people don't realize about Keelung Harbor is it's actually the 113th largest harbor in the world and the 4th largest harbor in Taiwan. And it has a cruise ship area, a cargo ship area. You can see the cargo ship area here, unloading all the cargo there.
Yep.
It also has a military area, that's the red area. And it also has Zhumbing Harbor, which we'll check out a little bit later, which is where all the tourists go.
所以我们现在应该差不多在这里。
I think so.
因为那里是出海口嘛。
Right. And did you also notice all the repair work going on here?
Yep.
This is still one of the areas where the boats get pulled out, as they have been for over 100 years, and get repaired in this area. So let's go check out more.
All right.
Have you heard the answer? Let's go back to the question. Question 2. Which of the following areas was not mentioned in the video about Keelung Harbor? A. The cruise ship area. B. Cargo ship area. C. The military area. D. The area for abandoned ships. This question is slightly more difficult than the last one. It is designed to see whether you were paying attention to the video or not. The answer is D. The area for abandoned ships. Did you get it right? Today, Keelung Harbor is the 113th biggest harbor in the world, and it is the 4th largest in Taiwan. The video mentioned that the Keelung Harbor contains the cruise ship area, the cargo ship area, the military area, and the tourism area. However, there was no mention of D, the area for abandoned ships. Also, you can use the word area to talk about a specific space. For example, you can say the video mentioned the cruise ship area, the cargo ship area, and the military area. Did you answer correctly? Let's continue playing the video.
So we're in Zhumbing Harbor, and many people think of this as a beautiful place to have a coffee because they painted these lovely buildings here, which I think is great. But I think there's also the historical part that we should take a look at. Let's take a look at the book here. So you can see this is a Spanish map going back to the 1600s. This is Herping Island, which we've been to, and this is Zhumbing Harbor right here, and you can see the Spanish sailing boats here. So this map is 400 years old, and it already has Keelung Harbor and Zhenbing Harbor painted in it. You get what I mean?
I think you mean 景色依旧在，人是已。
I think you got it. Philip, you understand what it means too?
Yeah, I think you mean like beginning with the Spanish, and then the Dutch, and then the French, and the Han and the Japanese people. This harbor was very important to them.
That's right. This harbor, Zhenbing Harbor, is actually one of the most ancient parts of Keelung Harbor. It is a Class 1 harbor. It's the largest type of harbor in Taiwan. And although you generally only see small boats here, in fact, if you look out this way, you will see some of the large boats here. And actually, Zhenbing Harbor has many over 50-ton CT4, CT5 fishing boats that go to Guam, go close to Indonesia for fishing, go out for several months at a time. So when people look at Zhenbing Harbor, they think of this quaint little area, but don't forget, actually further out there, you have the large ocean-going vessels. And they're not there all the time. They just come to unload and then they leave again. And that's why you won't see many of them. But this harbor, in that sense, is very significant. So I guess you understand now?
Yes.
Should we go have some chopping?
Yes, definitely.
All right, let's go.
Have you heard the answer? Let's go back to the question. Question 3. According to the ancient map mentioned in the video, how far does Zhenbing Harbor date back? A. Qing Dynasty. B. Dutch occupation. C. Spanish occupation. D. Japanese occupation. This question is designed to give you a breather. I'm sure you can answer this one correctly. Exactly. The answer is C. Spanish occupation. The video mentioned that Keelung was under Spanish, Dutch, French, Han, and Japanese occupation. But Zhenbing Harbor was and has always been an important harbor through all periods. Today, Zhenbing Harbor is a Class 1 harbor, the largest type of fishing harbor in Taiwan. This is why it still holds great importance to Taiwan. The ships docked here are not just small ones. There are also over 50 tons of CT4 and CT5 large ocean-going vessels. Do you understand the key points of this segment? Let's continue playing the video.
你吃这个香肠一定要配那个大蒜的。
那个什么，外国朋友不要辣椒。
要，
很辣哦。
啊，我们爱辣的。
好，爱辣，好。来，这个来。那这个糯米肠呢？
他的。
好，来糯米肠。我只会讲 Thank you。Thank you。
我教你一个，香肠是 sausage。sausage， 对啊。sausage， 对，没错。
香肠 sausage。
So I'm at the site of Todos Los Santos Church in Keelung. With me today is Jasmine. Jasmine, 我是刚才从那个三条桥 Santiago 来的，上个礼拜去马港。那今天来到基隆，想了解当时西班牙人怎么过来啊？
是我们现在所在的位置就是基隆的和平岛。那当时呢，其实就是在1626年的时候，西班牙人呢，其实从马尼拉开始， 扬帆北上，开着他们大型的军舰呢，其实来到了基隆的和平岛。那他们其实首先到的位置呢，其实是基隆和平岛这边的圣萨瓦多城，是他们在这边所修筑的圣萨瓦多城的位置。所以呢，我们也因此呢，从古地图里面呢去比对到了，发现了西班牙人其实在和平岛上面呢所修筑的，不管是堡垒以及城堡啊，其实都在这个地方可以被看到。
那他们来这边住了多久？
他们在这边大概待了20几年的时间哦。那最主要是因为呢，原本在南方的荷兰人，其实他们北上了，想要打击走这个西班牙人，所以因此呢，最后西班牙人是被荷兰人所赶走的。那原本他们所修筑的圣萨尔瓦多城呢，就被荷兰人所占领了，把它变成叫做北荷兰城。
那个教堂的情况能不能介绍给我？
好，那我们就看一下这个教堂的位置哦。那这个诸圣教堂呢，我们现在看到眼前的部分呢，其实是属于教堂的内殿。那所以这是最靠近祭坛的位置。
所以大门口应该在？
对，它的门口是面向内侧，是面向正滨渔港的位置。在这里面呢，我们有发掘到4具的墓葬，非常接近祭坛的位置。那在西班牙这个天主教的一个他们的教义上来说，最接近祭坛的位置表示它的位阶很高，所以我们可以推估说这个地方出现的墓葬是位阶非常高的这个教士们。
那个地方什么时候找得到啊？
好。其实这个等于是在2011年的时候开始呢，清大的考古团队呢，其实透过这个古地图跟现在的地图的比对呢，去找到了可能就位于我们现在发现的这个平一路的停车场的下方，可能就是诸圣教堂的遗址。考古团队就在这个地方进行挖掘，而看到了我们现在最终看到的这个遗址的样态。那当然呢，这个遗址的出土呢，其实象征着我们基隆和平岛其实早在400多年前的大航海时代就已经成为了在大航海时代的航道的一部分也就表示我们其实在400年前就已经跟世界史接触了。那原本我们最想要找的就是圣萨尔瓦多城，不过因为圣萨尔瓦多城现在呢是在造船厂的下方，没有办法去进行挖掘，所以进而我们来这个发现这个诸圣教堂。
了解，谢谢你的那么热情介绍给我知道。
谢谢。
Have you heard the answer? Let's go back to the question. Question 4. According to the video, where did the Spanish first land when they came to Taiwan? A. Heping Island in Keelung. B. Guandu in Taipei. C. Uru in Taichung. D. Kenting in Hengchun. I'm certain that this question was also very easy for you. The answer is A. Heping Island in Keelung. In 1626, the Spanish sailed north from Manila to Keelung Heping Island and built Fort San Salvador. And because Heping Island was where the Spanish first docked in Taiwan, you can find preserved churches, fortresses, and castles on the island. Do you grasp the key points of this segment? Let's continue playing the video.
Yes, this is the place. Cimetière Français de Kilung, the old French cemetery in Keelung. So this is where the Sino-French Memorial Park is. Let's take a look and understand what happened here. Yeah, this is it. For the memory of the French Marines and soldiers who died in the Keelung. This memorial is for the Sino-French War, which took place between 1884 and 1885, 10 months, and thousands of people were killed. But in this cemetery, there are about 700 bodies of French soldiers and officers that were interned here. And they came from all over. They might have died in Penghu or other parts of Taiwan. They've all been dug up and reburied here. And this memorial is a tribute to those people. And it's also a tribute to Keelung's long history. In the Ghost Month every year, they will have a big celebration here. And even the ambassador of France will come here and lay down some flowers and some baguettes to remember. So we also have a bit of an offering to make, and let's put it down. And most importantly, French wine. All right, let's put it there for them. Let's have a moment, all right? Okay.
Have you heard the answer? Let's go back to the question. Question 5. When is the annual Grand Commemoration Ceremony held at the Sino-French War Memorial Park in Keelung? A. Mid-Autumn Festival. B. Ghost Month. C. Lunar New Year's Eve. D. Qingming Festival. The answer to this question is also obvious. It's B. Ghost Month. Did you get it right? The Sino-French War Memorial Park in Keelung was constructed to commemorate the soldiers who died during the Sino-French War, which began in 1884 to 1885. Over 700 bodies of French soldiers and officers were buried in the park. Although they might have died in other places in Taiwan, they were all buried in this memorial park. During Ghost Month, the ambassador of France will even come to the memorial park to lay down flowers and baguettes. Also, they all use dead body to talk about the killed soldiers. An advanced synonym for a dead body is a corpse. The video is about to come to an end. Let's watch it through together.
It's no wonder Keelung is one of my favorite cities in Taiwan. We're just waiting for the light show here in Zhongbing Harbor, and there's thousands of people. This is a perfect example how Taiwan's fishing harbors are reinventing themselves, going from their historical past to now an entirely new purpose with thousands of people coming to watch this kind of light show. I love it. I think Zhongbing Harbor is really one of my favorite places. This is a great example of the progression of the fishing harbor in Taiwan.
Congratulations! You finished the video and have successfully answered all 5 questions. Give yourself a round of applause. The learning experience has no doubt deepened your understanding of Keelung's history. By thinking about how to answer these questions, you're now sailing in the ocean of knowledge and becoming more knowledgeable along the way. Now, we will enter a more challenging yet interesting part. This is a question that requires a short answer. It will test your ability to integrate and apply the information you've learned from the video. Are you ready? Let's go! How would you explain the connection between Keelung City, the Spanish, and the Dutch to a foreigner? This question is a little more difficult, isn't it? Don't worry. I have listed a couple of words that might come in handy for this type of situation. I hope they help you formulate your answer. You can pause the video and think about how to use these words first. If you have the answer, you may say it out loud or write it down. Remember, guys, practice makes perfect. Did you try to answer the question? If you did, that's awesome. Don't worry if you don't have an answer yet. Let me share mine with you. Please read it out loud with me. The Spanish built Fort San Salvador in Hoping Island. Later, the Dutch attacked and occupied Fort San Salvador, driving away the Spanish. Congratulations! You finished all the tasks for all the questions. Are you more familiar with the history of Keelung now? After this learning experience, I'm sure you have a more comprehensive understanding of Keelung City's history and developments. Now, you can use simple English words to describe the history of Keelung. We hope this has helped you become more confident in expressing your opinions and ideas during daily conversations or communications with foreign friends. Next, we want to expand your vocabulary and introduce new words related to geography and history. This allows you to describe Keelung's unique features and history more accurately. You will have a rich vocabulary that allows more expressive language when talking with foreign friends or providing information about tourist attractions. Let's move on to the next exciting part. I'm sure you remember Leo mentioning the word harbor a lot in the video. So, I want to talk more about nouns related to the word harbor. Port. You might be thinking, what's the difference between a harbor and a port? Let me tell you. Port is a more general term for harbor. Harbor mainly refers to where the ships find shelter against the wind and waves. So, ports are usually bigger than harbors. Quay. Quay refers to a refurbished riverbank or coastline that provides a place for docking boats. It is a place for ships to dock, load and unload goods, and for passengers to embark and disembark on ships. Wharf. What's the difference between a quay and a wharf? Both words mean a structure constructed by the river or sea to provide a safe area for boats to dock. They refer to where ships load and unload goods, and where passengers embark and disembark on ships. Usually, it takes up a sizable area. The biggest difference is that a wharf may contain several quays. Therefore, a wharf is a larger quay, encompassing a wider area with more vessels. Pier. Pier is a unique structure that usually projects from the land into the lake, river, or ocean. A pier is a structure that extends from the shore into the water surface, allowing the ships to dock along the shore. After today, I'm sure you now understand the definitions and differences of port, harbor, quay, wharf, and pier. In the future, when you see piers and wharves, you won't be limited to using only words like port or harbor. You can be more accurate in describing different scenarios. Try and use these words to be more precise and expressive. After learning about the different types of harbors and ports, we will now learn some words related to history. You need to know these words when talking about history. Without further ado, let's get right in. Don't forget that you can pause the video and read the sentences out loud with me. Occupation. When discussing historical events where a certain country or power controls another region, we use the word occupation. The verb for occupation is occupy, meaning the act of controlling a region or a location. For example, the students decided to occupy the study room until they got the additional space they needed for their group projects. Colonization. We talked about the word occupation, but if we want to be more accurate, we can also use the word colonization. The verb for colonization is colonize, meaning the process of governing and taking control of another country. For example, during the Age of Exploration, European countries colonized various regions around the world, leading to significant cultural exchanges. Architecture. In many colonized areas, there are usually many pieces of architecture that noticeably reflect the architectural style of colonial power. We can use the word architecture to express that. Architecture refers to not just the buildings, but the style, design, and structure of the buildings. For example, the city's unique blend of modern and traditional architecture creates a captivating skyline that attracts tourists from all over the world. Heritage. These precious historical buildings and coaches have all become national heritages. You can use the word heritage to talk about things that are preserved for their historical value. You can be more precise by adding the word cultural in front of heritage to emphasize the historical and cultural value of the object. For example, the museum showcases the rich cultural heritage of the region, including art, music, and traditions that have been passed down through generations. We've discussed a lot of important nouns, but don't you feel like we're still missing something? Yes, we need good adjectives to describe these nouns in more detail. After finding the appropriate adjective, we can be more expressive and accurate when we talk. Now, let's learn some adjectives that can be used to describe geographical environments. Glacial, relating to characteristics and geographical settings of glaciers. For example, the landscape was dominated by the glacial valleys and towering ice-capped peaks. Coastal, relating to the coast. For example, they decided to build a resort in the coastal area to take advantage of the beautiful ocean views. Rugged, relating to rough and uneven terrain. For example, the rugged terrain made the hiking trail a challenging adventure. Archipelagic, relating to an extensive group of islands. For example, the country's economy relies heavily on its archipelagic geography, with fishing and tourism being major industries. Eroded, the weathering, erosion, and wear of an object. For example, the coastline showed signs of being eroded by the relentless waves. Mountainous, having many mountains. For example, the mountainous region was known for its breathtaking views and challenging hiking trails. Volcanic, relating to characteristics of volcanic activities and volcanic areas. For example, the volcanic island was covered in lush vegetation thanks to the fertile soil resulting from past eruptions. Deserted, a place empty of people, an abandoned place. For example, the once bustling town now lay deserted, with crumbling buildings and overgrown streets. Although these adjectives might be a bit hard, they are very useful when describing geographical environments. You will not feel frustrated or confused if a tour guide uses these words when you are watching a video or traveling. Try and use these words in daily conversation to show how knowledgeable you are. Next, let's learn some adjectives related to history. These words will come in handy when talking about history in the future. You will become an expressive storyteller by using these adjectives we have carefully chosen for you. You will capture the attention of the audience and they will feel immersed in your story as if they were there themselves. Again, don't forget to read the sentence out loud with me. Historical. Things, events, or characteristics concerning history. For example, the museum is filled with historical artifacts that provide insight into the culture of the past. Historic. Things important and meaningful to history. For example, the signing of the peace treaty was a historic moment that symbolized the end of a long-standing conflict. While historical and historic might sound similar, please note that they mean completely different things. Be clear on what you want to convey to avoid any misunderstanding. Ancient, belonging to the very distant past. Having been in existence for a long time. For example, the ancient ruins of the temple date back to a civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. Memorial, to remember a person or people who have died. For example, the park was established as a memorial to honor the soldiers who sacrificed their lives in the war. Medieval, relating to the Middle Ages. For example, the castle is a well-preserved example of medieval architecture and design. Traditional, relating to conventional customs, values, and ways. For example, the festival showcases a variety of traditional dances, crafts, and culinary delights. Legendary, relating to legends and tales. For example, the mythical creature is part of the region's legendary folklore, passed down through generations. Revolutionary, relating to a revolution or something that is completely new and having a great effect. For example, the invention of the internet brought about a revolutionary change in how people communicate and access information. These words do not just appear in textbooks, but are also used in everyday conversation. Whether you are conducting a tour or talking about history, these words can help you become more descriptive. We hope you can apply the content you've learned and showcase your unique storytelling ability. Finally, I have prepared some vocabulary and phrases mentioned in the video as extra learning material to ensure you have a fruitful lesson. Let's keep on learning together. Be known for, be known as. In the video, Leo used an incredibly useful phrase, be known for, be known as, which means to be famous because of something. For example, you can say Keelung is known for its cruise industry. By using the phrase, you can be very clear in what you want to convey and be more descriptive in your expression. Additionally, I want to provide an extra bit of information. We use the phrase be known as when talking about a role or a position that made a person or an event well known. For example, the Spanish were known as the pioneers in Taiwan's history. Leo also mentioned many features of Keelung Harbor, including the cruise ship area, the cargo ship area, the military area, and the tourism area. Leo mentioned the cargo ship area. There is a word related to cargo called embargo, meaning to officially stop trading with another country or an official ban on any activity. For example, the government has decided to embargo some certain goods. Go back to, date back to, be traced back to. Also, the video mentioned that the history of Zhengbing Harbor can be dated back to the 16th century. Leo used a very common idiom, go back to, which means to return to a specific point in time. Additionally, we can use date back to or be traced back to interchangeably to convey the same idea. For example, I wish I could go back to my college days and relive all those amazing experiences. Or you could say the origins of those amazing experiences date back to my college days and I wish I could relive them. Leo mentioned that the Spanish sailed north from Manila. The word sail can be used as a noun or a verb. When used as a verb, it means traveling by boat or a ship on the water. For example, my family and I are excited to sail on a small boat during our vacation next month. As a noun, the word sail means a voyage in a ship or a sheet of material attached to a pole on a boat to catch the wind. For example, the colorful sails of the sailboats added a festive atmosphere to the regatta event. So we need context to determine what the word means. Set sail from, set sail for. Moreover, if you want to be more precise in conveying how the Spanish traveled north from Manila, you can use the phrase set sail from. It means to begin a boat journey. For example, the Spanish set sail from Manila. Or, if you want to express that the Spanish traveled to Manila, you can use the phrase set sail for. For example, the Spanish set sail for Manila. Be a tribute to. Pay tribute to. Lastly, when Leo introduced the Sino-French War Memorial Park, he used the phrase be a tribute to, which means to show how good, strong, or effective something or someone is. For example, the art exhibition is a tribute to the diverse cultures that have influenced the artist's work. At the same time, we use the phrase pay tribute to praise someone or something. For example, during the event, we will pay tribute to the volunteers who have dedicated their time to the community. I hope the extra content was informative and your English ability has improved. Our lesson is nearly over. Are you feeling a bit sad that it's coming to an end? Before we go, I want to ask you a question. If your friend from another country travels to Keelung, how will you introduce the places mentioned in the video to them? Don't worry, use the information you learned from this lesson and try giving a short answer. Have you learned a lot at the end of this lesson? I also want to share a piece of news with you. At the end of the video, there's a quiz for you to do so that you can review what you've learned from the video. So don't forget to do the quiz after watching the video. Happy studying! Bye!